Card, please.
Elite tennis players have always been handsomely rewarded in terms of what they can earn. In fact, since Boris Becker placed 11th in the first ever Forbes highest paid athletes list back in 1990, tennis players have regularly been featured in the VIP section of the Sporting Wealth Club. Roger Federer has been a permanent fixture in the top 10 since 2010 and was number 1 as recently as 2020. And when you pick out the women in these lists, the richest are predominantly tennis players. Naomi Osaka has been the best paid female athlete for the last 2 years, usurping Serena Williams in 2020 before posting a record-breaking $60 million in earnings in 2021. But what is interesting is the breakdown between on- and off-court earnings. The 2021 Forbes list shows that for the previous 12 months, Osaka earned around $5 million for her tennis, but 11 times that from endorsements and sponsorships. And let's look again at Federer. Between May 2020 and April 2021, the period the list covers, Federer played just 2 matches due to injury and picked up just $35,000 for a solitary match win over Dan Evans in Doha. Yet Federer still placed 7th on Forbes' rich list, thanks to a whopping $90 million in off-court earnings. He earned more from endorsements and sponsorships than soccer superstars Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi combined. Only MMA's Conor McGregor, the highest paid athlete of all, earned more on the side than Federer, and that was by selling a majority stake in his whiskey company. Federer is nearing retirement, of course, but may still feature in these lists for some years to come. Aged 38, he left Nike to sign a 10-year deal with Japanese clothing firm Uniqlo to become its global brand ambassador. It is said to be worth $30 million a year to Federer, and suggests he will remain a marketable figure even after he hangs up his racket. Of course, active players will eventually overtake, and some suspect Stefanos Tsitsipas may be Federer's heir apparent. As one of the world's top players, the Greek superstar has deals with Wilson, Adidas and Rolex, but he has all the attributes to make him a marketer's dream beyond the realm of sports brands. On the court, he has an attractive game style that, rather like Federer, is a throwback to years gone by, with his slick one-handed backhand and savvy net play. Andy Roddick and Greg Rosetsky have been among those to compare him favourably to a young Roger, and there has been no shortage of hype in the media. In the modern age, however, it is not just your tennis success that boosts off-court earnings. Tsitsipas is blessed with rugged good looks that have already spawned thousands of Greek god headlines, and will undoubtedly see him marketed to non-tennis fans as one of the faces of the sport. There are warnings from history, however. Grigor Dimitrov was once lauded as baby-fed for the way he played, but never achieved what was expected of him on the court. Sponsors want to associate themselves with the very best, and so Dimitrov never became a global household name, in spite of high-profile relationships with Maria Sharapova and pop singer Nicole Scherzinger. Proof that being good-looking and having a gorgeous one-handed backhand can only get you so far. You need more. And while Tsitsipas has not only demonstrated his quality on court, he is also starting to flesh out his public persona. An environmentalist, he has questioned the use of natural gut strings from an animal welfare standpoint and has recently advocated for on-court coaching in the men's game. It remains to be seen whether, as his profile grows, he will be advised to plot a more cautious path through divisive areas, a la Federer, or take more of a stance like Osaka, whose marketability has only increased as she's championed causes such as Black Lives Matter, while challenging the status quo in relation to athletes' mental health. It may depend on whether he is deemed more appealing as a clean-cut successor to Borg and Federer, or as an outspoken flair player akin to McEnroe or Agassi. Either way, the natural ingredients are there. The 22-year-old is expected to compete for major honours over the coming decade and has already grown a loyal following that includes 180,000 YouTube subscribers. There remains work for him to do on that all-important social media metric. Osaka, a year his senior, has 5 times as many Twitter followers, while she boasts 1 million more on Instagram. Novak Djokovic, Federer and Rafael Nadal are all streets ahead of both in terms of social media audience engagement. Those around the Greek will have to make smart business decisions too. Eyebrows were raised, for example, when Federer walked away from his Nike contract for Uniqlo, but it delivered a lucrative 10-year partnership in a growing market. Federer may also see his business interests pay dividends soon. He holds a stake in Swiss shoemaker On, which is set to be listed in late 2021 at an estimated value of $5 billion. It's clear the landscape has changed greatly since that first Forbes athlete rich list in 1990, which had Mike Tyson on top with $28.6 million. These days, you don't get in the top 10 for less than $60 million. Now, tennis players in particular earn more posing for cameras and signing lucrative endorsements in boardrooms than they do for hitting balls over a net. Anna Kournikova, who never won a singles title, amassed a reported net worth of $50 million, primarily through sponsorship deals, endorsements, and trading off her appearance. But that figure is dwarfed by what the Williams sisters, Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, have raked in through consistent performance and the subsequent significant perks of the trade. One day soon, though, those big earners will leave a gap in the market, which the suits will look to fill. And even at this early stage in his career, it's no exaggeration to say Tsitsipas could one day be the world's best paid athlete, even if he isn't the world's best tennis player. His persona and public image will be closely managed by those around him, but his success will boil down to how well he adapts to the pressure of being a global superstar. As independent contractors, tennis players are in total control of their off-the-field earnings, and Tsitsipas now faces a challenge of making the most of the raw ingredients he has at his disposal. Should he combine his good looks, charisma, and on-court genius with success, smart career planning, and sensible business decisions, the sky's the limit.